Charlie Kirk's head of security finally speaks out and debunks all of the myths that you've been hearing. Some of y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
Do you have anybody on your team that you think could be tied to an extreme political party who is planning assassinations?
No.
I ain't never been. Charlie is catching on fire. He's rolling his grave so hard. Put this together. Everybody that loved Charlie and he loved is lying about him. Everybody. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications. Anytime I go live, make a video, make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Let's get to Shawn Ryan real quick. Now, this is where people should lose their platforms. I'm telling you guys, I've warned you 100,000 times. These people are lying to you. They are lying to you for clicks. They're either, I think some of them are mentally ill. Some of them are just flat out lying to you because they got the grift down. They know how, they got the algorithm down. They know if they tell you, look, I got this information. Now, I'm not going to give you the information. I'm just going to get you to the next time I tell you I got the information. Now, I'm telling you, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, sister, brother, listen to me clearly. If I knew something about Charlie Kirk's investigation that'll bust it wide open, I'm going to tell you today. And I know my show may be, I don't know, what we do, an hour show. If I knew something that was against my friend that I think you need to know, we'll do a 4-hour show. You want a 4-5 hour? Let's run it all night. We're gonna do the show through the night. Stay up. I'm pushing receipts all night. You will never catch me saying, oh, we're at an hour. Oh, sorry. I guess you can't know until next time I do an hour. Next month, I'm going to tell you what I really want to tell you. I ain't never been. Charlie is catching on fire. He's rolling his grave so hard. Put this together. Everybody that loved Charlie and he loved is lying about him. Everybody. You to put your thinking cap on, everybody. All right, let's get to this clip real quick because I got some. Matter of fact, before we start this, can I prove something to you guys real quick? I'm gonna need my computer. I want to prove something to you guys. Everybody that you've seen, Valhalla or whatever his name is, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, Synergy is having a sale. Normally, we don't do no sales on Synergy, but right now, Black Friday, we started early, 30% off store-wide. That's 30% off the day-night bundle. That's 30% off day if you want it by itself, or night, or any of our products that we have here. Even the T-Force is 30% off. And if you don't want to take advantage of the 30% off, you have the ability to get 30% off, but also get on a subscription plan. So 30% off will be on your first order, and then the subscription plan will be simply the same each and every month. But 30% off Black Friday. Get your Synergy today, get your energy, and also get some doggone sleep. I used to like the guy. He made a thing about Kennedy that he exposed him. I was like, oh, this guy's a veteran or whatever. I like everybody that's online right now that have told you it's impossible for somebody to get a shot with a 30-06 and live. It'll blow his head off and it'll do all this. I want you to take two things in consideration. One is that it's fair to put that in perspective. But the second thing is that why have you not heard of any of them talking about Martin Luther King? Let me find my little clip. We'll put the link in the description section for all of y'all. Let me find the clip real quick. I got it. Martin Luther King was shot with a 30-06. No exit wound. I'll put the clip in for you. This is the evidence. James Earl Ray, he purchased a rifle. Let's go down to the text here. You can see my cursor. Dr. King was killed by a Remington Peters soft point, metal jacketed bullet fired from a high velocity .30-06 rifle. He was shot from about 200 yards away. And I read this already, but the shot apparently went into his chin or somewhere in his jaw. It like went out, came back in, went out, and went into his neck. And no exit. It's almost identical to what happened to Charlie. Shot with a .30-06 from a distance. Injured, did not exit. Why are your favorite people talking about Charlie and acting like it's so mind-blowing to think that it has never in the history of humanity has it ever happened that somebody got shot with a .30-06 and then blow their head off? Well, it happened to another person who was assassinated, Martin Luther King, one of the biggest, most prominent assassinations to ever exist. And your favorite people won't even bring up Martin Luther King. Why? Because they need you to believe that there's nowhere in the world that Tyler Robinson did this. Okay, come on. Pull it up. Let's pull up. Let's get to the interview. Shawn Ryan, y'all been waiting for me to talk about this. Clip 106. Let's start from the top. Shout out to Shawn Ryan for doing this.
Starts off with an introduction here. Brian Harpole.
Hold on.
A highly...
Frame it real quick. The reason I put this introduction in here is because some of y'all are stuck on stupid, smoking the devil's lettuce and sniffing the sauce. Y'all think that, like in a vacuum, you think these people that were defending Charlie and supporting Charlie is somebody they found on the street that was a rent-a-cop yesterday. Do you think, go look at Turning Point logs. I bet they were spending millions of dollars a year on security. You think these people, okay, listen to his credentials. Roll it.
But everybody starts off with an introduction here. Brian Harpole, a highly decorated law enforcement veteran who served as a police officer in Texas for 14 years. In 2008, you entered the private security world as operations manager for an elite Texas-based security firm, where you specialized in executive and personal protection. Now you are a global private security contractor and trainer running your own company, Integrity Security Solutions, across 5 continents. A graduate of Columbia College, you earned a Master Peace Officer license from the state of Texas, along with graduating from the International Law Enforcement School of Police Supervision in Southern Methodist University's CAPE Intelligence Program. Most importantly, you are on the stage with Charlie Kirk as the head of his contracted security detail on September 10th when he was assassinated. It's been 2 months since this tragedy, and there are a lot of unanswered questions, and people are starving for some answers. I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in what you have to say today. But
all right, let's put this in perspective. Did you hear his credentials? You do not get that many credentials. You do not run your own company, executive protection company, on different continents if you don't know what the you're doing. Can we put that together? Is that fair? Don't play with this man. Don't play with him. I did 6.5 years as a police officer. I was on the SWAT team, and I'm better than 90% of y'all. This dude did 14 years, and he's been an executive on his own executive protection company. That's not easy. Okay. All right, let's get to some of the other stuff. Let's go to clip 101. Roll it.
I've got my back to Charlie about, I don't know, less than 10 meters off to his right. And my area of responsibility, we had a lot of people coming up some staircases there, and it was starting to fill in. And so I was watching that, and I remember I heard the gunfire, and then I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard that bullet slap him. And so so you hear 2 sounds, actually. And so you hear the actual shot, and then you hear the bullet hit him in the neck, like you hear it. And so in my head, I had an attribution to that. Oop, I know what that is. And so I turned, and when I turned, started running, that's when Dan grabbed him. And I mean, this is a live fire event. It's not, everybody thinks in hindsight, well, this is a one-shot assassination. No, in our heads, there's
You
fire.
don't know what that is.
There's fire. There's more to come, right? And so Dan grabs Charlie, and then
Who's Dan?
Dan was the guy standing right next to Charlie when he got shot on the stage, and then I was to the right of Dan.
Okay.
And so he grabs him, and then I turn and see him start to the ground, but then I'm just thinking gunfire. And then he's leading to the ground because I'm on his right, where he was shot right here in the left of his neck. And so I jumped down on top of Charlie to cover him because where we're at, it's concealment at best. It's a tabling with cloth on it, so it's not hard cover. Our guys are starting piling back in, and they're down, putting a human shield around him, but it's still just concealment. It's not cover. And so I initially dove down on top of him and just was on him almost face to face. And then when I was doing that, I went down, I could see the wound. And so I immediately shoved my hand into the wound to stop the bleeding, just trying to find the pressure. And it was coming out still. And I'm on top of him, like close. And it was still coming out enough that it squirted through my fingers and I could taste it on my lips. And so I was like, man, this is a bad wound, right? And so I was just pushing that, and I don't know at that time. I know when you look at the clock, I was on him within 5 seconds and had my hands in him. And then I don't know when I put the first piece of medical on him. It was sometime after that, because I carry it right here, and that's why you carry it on you.
Pause. Go back and look at my content. I told y'all, it's the evil people who are telling you something different. They jumped on him immediately. You thought what you think they were doing? For all you fools out here, what you think they were doing? They were just standing there. These guys train for this stuff. I told you they probably was applying gauze to him, they quick clot or something. Soon as you go in, you got to put your finger or your hand or something in there and try to press that wound. Because if you severed one of the arteries, if you can put your finger on it, you can stop it from bleeding. But you got to put your finger down in their neck. You got to put it down in it. When we used to train, people used to have wounds on the arm, on the legs. You got to put your finger down in their leg to get to the vein or the artery and hold down the artery to try to keep it from bleeding. You got to put your thumb down in their leg or their neck. That's not easy to do. I told you this is what they were doing. And then they go, there wasn't a lot of blood. Probably because he dressed him right there at the thing. He probably did that. A couple seconds later, he wrapped him, put quick clot in him or something. And that's why you don't see blood just gushing as they're running. But his shirt is covered in blood. Let's keep going.
You got to have it there. So, but then I remember pulling back away and thinking, damn, this is bad. Like it's coming out. And I don't remember saying this, but the guys told me, and you can kind of see it on the video. I said, prep the car. And I just prepped, and you see the two guys just take off. And that car's prepped in position, but what I mean, doors are open, I mean, the whole deal. And then so we're doing pressure control there, and it's a carotid artery, so you can't put a tourniquet on it, obviously. And in my head, I'm like, pack pressure, pray, man. These are what you can do for that wound. But then, so I'm on top, and then I told the guys, we got to exfil. We're all out here in the open. We're trying to give wound care, and we got to get off this X, right? And so, but I just said, we're exfilling. And so we got up, I think it was like 15, 16 seconds from the time the shot happened to the time we were picking him up and headed.
15 to 16 seconds?
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. And so...
That's fast.
Yeah, and this is horrible, but...
That is fast to get an initial assessment, plug a hole, pick them up, move them.
Yeah, and so it's just like, dang. And it's some horrible realities of it, too, that, like, I told the guys this, and I haven't...
All right, hold it. but he made this up. He made this up. And the people that say he made this up, how many times have they teared up when they talked about Charlie? How many times do they tear up when they talk about Charlie? You know why they don't have an emotional response? Because they don't care and they wasn't even there. When you see somebody get killed right in front of you, I've seen people die in front of me and I didn't know them, and it's emotional. I'll never forget the guy whose pulse I checked in that car accident underneath Grand 19. I can never go to Grand 19 and never drive through there again without seeing this. He's dying. He's dead. He was dead. The lady was screaming. I run to the car and I see him. He's crushed in the car. His head is hanging out because I guess he tried to get out the car. He couldn't. He was suffocated. But I had to check his pulse. This is live. This is real life. This is not a game. It's not a video game. It's real life. Somebody's daddy is here. Check his pulse. Dead. Get on the air. No pulse. I saw them. They pulled the car open. The fire department came and ripped the car open, put him on the side, put a bag over him. Now, I had his wallet. And I opened his wallet to identify him. The man had a picture of his kids in the wallet. His wallet was in my locker for a week. I was supposed to turn it into evidence. I left it in there by accident, and I remember seeing it every day, and it was almost paralyzing. I was supposed to turn it in, but I couldn't get past the point of that this guy was somebody's dad. And their dad was dead. I saw him die, and they still didn't know. When I was at the scene, they didn't even know. I couldn't stop thinking about that. Their dad is dead, and they think he just went to work. He's gone forever. He's in the bag right here on the side of the road. And when you see that stuff, it messes with you. But these cowards who out here just running their mouth don't know what that man going through. And some people have gone online and said these people are cowards and they're responsible for his death. Woo, keep going.
When I jumped down on him, he had doll's eyes. And so I was like, man, these are wounds incompatible with life.
You knew.
Yeah.
You want to take a break?
How long ago since Charlie has passed? A couple months now? And that man still can't talk about this without having to take a break on the show. All your favorite people who talk all this trash about these men and all these people, when do they take a break on their show? When they take a break in their meeting, in their conferences, in their, on their interviews? They don't feel that. That's why I stand up the way I do for these people, because they don't feel that what they felt when they saw Charlie. They don't feel it. They weren't there. It's all smoke and mirrors to them. Let's go to the next clip, 102. And this is, let me preface these clips. I do a bad job. See, look, I don't do a show. Okay, it's my first time doing a show, and I'm off the cuff. But let me just preface these. This is the head of security. The UVU transformed the scene. They claim that they manipulated the scene and put the pavers over it or whatever the case may be. In the autopsy situation, he answers that in this clip. Roll the clip.
And you're hiding behind, well, we have to ensure that we don't taint a jury for this guy. You know, and I have questions about that too. And so I have questions about that, and we talked about that earlier. Where's his call logs? His phone hits. Who'd he talk to 2 days, 4 days, 8 days beforehand?
Why do you think that they tore up and paved over the crime scene
Hold on, before
so quickly?
I haven't heard his response. I'll just tell you what I think, and I don't know if he's going to agree. There's two things here. First and foremost, it's not a crime scene anymore. Obviously, Charlie Kirk was the crime scene. The cameras were the crime scene. Once you get rid of that, none of that matters. But a lot of times when you have that much blood in a grassed area, you can't clean it. You can't just do a water hose and clean the grass. That blood soaks down into the soil of the grass. And it's a biohazard. So the people will have to come and dump some type of a chemical on the blood so that people don't get contact with somebody else's blood. That kills the grass. So it would make sense for them not to have a big patch of grass that's dead in the middle of that lawn. They just put pavers over it. But I haven't heard what he had to say. Let's see what he had to say. Roll the clip.
And asked that at least 10 times. And I said, I don't understand the exigency of why they did that. And here's my question to that. March your ass up to the school. Have you march your ass up to the school, or will you march your ass up to that school tomorrow and file a FOIA and say, hey, you're a public institution. I want the request and the plans that were made to tear that up and when those requests and plans happen. Because you're not going to request that, or you shouldn't request that overnight and have that done. That had to probably go through a budget request, had to be approved. There should be a timeline and paperwork for that. Mm-hmm. You should be able to get that through FOIA. And so do it. Make them tell us why that they tore that up before it was even cold. I want to know. Because it came back on us. That we had some trap door and you're covering up the trap door and we had a guy hiding in there.
Okay, that's actually my next question. I didn't hear about there was somebody hiding in the trap door.
A gun was hiding or something.
Heard there was a trap door or something. Was there a trap door in a tunnel system?
No.
There was not?
No. So, school, why'd you tear it up? Why did you tear it up? What was the exigency to tear up something that still people would... Did you not think that through? Like, hey, we might want to put a hold on that. This might induce questions to us. Mm-hmm. And it didn't. Nobody went back and asked questions to the school or said, hey, well, let's do a FOIA and do some back digging on that. That's not protected under this evidentiary gag order. Mm-hmm. Now let's just blame the security team because that's the easy way. Go do the FOIA.
You know, I mean...
So I see his point. He's upset that they got blamed for the university doing that. So I see his frustration in that. Roll it.
Back to the exit wound thing. You know, I mean, because we're talking about the tearing up of the crime scene and everybody's wanting them to find the bullet. I mean, if the bullet hit any bone at all, there is no bullet. It's just fragmentation.
Great point. And that was discussed already.
And if there was no exit wound in the autopsy, though, there should be. I mean, if there was no exit wound, then there should be fragmentation of the bullet would have fragmented into who knows how many pieces.
The doctor, and again, this is not a non-disclosure violation, but the doctor came out there and told us, and then. They also told chief of staff. So the bullet came in and hit the vertebra. So it came in and then tore up everything in the wound cavity, hit the vertebra, crushed it, shattered it, turned, crushed the second one, turned, kept going down all the way. I think they said C6.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, why not put that info out? Why not put it out? And then
why wouldn't they put that out?
And if it do me a favor, don't make me do it. It's not my job. And so then it got to here, and you're exactly right. And then hit, I think, 6, and then fragged. And so explanation 101. What are you hiding? Yeah. It's like I'm sitting back here when people are saying we bombed him. Or there's that wound. I'm like, hey, if somebody would, from an official capacity, would just release that, and I don't see how that could jeopardize a fair trial for a guy. And or somebody called the doctor.
Now let me add to this, because I know that he's upset, and I know that I understand 100% why. Because his mind is that they should release it because they're making the security team look bad. But let me just explain this real quick. You shouldn't release anything. The public shouldn't be stupid. To be honest, like the public should be like, just like we did this in Kyle Rittenhouse. We've done it in most of all the police shootings. Wait till the trial before you start making judgments. If I was a part of the FBI, I wouldn't release none of that. They shouldn't. There should be no ambiguity. Because if you go to releasing information about the autopsy and the tumbling of a bullet, now you got other questions on your hands. Because now people are going to want to know more stuff. Now there's more speculation. They need to investigate, did this bullet come from that gun? Before they tell you that the bullet went to traveling and dipping and doing all this other stuff. Because if the bullet didn't come from that gun, they're going to have to find out what bullet came from what gun and what direction. They don't need to disclose all of the stuff that goes on in the autopsy to the public, because the public is going to have their chance at a public trial where they're going to hear all this evidence and cross-examination. But if you go and you say he was shot and it went through, it hit his vertebrae, it did this, it did that, and then that gun wasn't the one that shot him. Somebody shot him from over here. Now you're divulging information that could be identifying certain people that they're still looking for, giving a heads up to certain people they're still looking for, right? I mean, it's a lot of different things that could have happened that way. They do not want to tell how the bullet came in, how it went down in his body, because they don't want to tell what direction it's been hit. All of those things. I understand his frustration, but I've never seen a case where they tell you what the autopsy says. Well, rarely have I ever seen a case that they tell you what the autopsy says. They rarely do it. Okay, we got a couple more clips. Let's go to the accusation that it was Mossad in Israel, 103.
Do any of your guys have any ties to any foreign intelligence agencies, more specifically Mossad?
No, and I've seen that and heard that, and I've been in 39 countries in this world, and I've never been to Israel. I'm a firm Christian. I ask our guys, are you believers? We have no ties to Israel or Mossad or any other one. We're Americans, period. We believe in what we're afforded to do here. We believe in our system, and to say that we're Mossad or attached to any type of foreign entity, it's one of those, it's crap on its best day.
Do you have anybody on your team that you think could be tied to an extreme political party who is planning assassinations?
No. One, we're in each other's business. Where they have the time for it, I wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, you had mentioned some of these guys are on the road 250 days a year.
Yeah.
With Charlie.
Yeah, just working, and it's not just that. It's, I mean, a lot. We do a team trip every year down to an undisclosed location, and some of the guys are there now. Some of the guys left yesterday after that job ended. I'll be going down the night before. Tomorrow. So we know what each other does. We know their kids' names and their spouses, and it's like, if they're doing it and they're not, they wouldn't have time for us not to notice. And then the heart of these men, that they're going to pour this out. It's like, yeah, you took an oath. I've taken an oath. Most of my guys have taken an oath. And it's different in the security industry. You're not taking an oath for your client, but you are taking an oath to each other. Mm-hmm. And so they wouldn't do that to the client, but they really wouldn't do it to me or to their coworker. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of those things. It's like, no, if you know us, those allegations become even more idiotic.
Yeah. And you say this with 100% certainty?
To my death.
Roger that.
To my death.
All right, we got two more. Let's go with Erika Kirk was not involved. 104.
I've done a lot of death notifications where I had to tell kids that their parents were dead, or their parents that their kids were dead. And I know what pain looks and sounds like. I wake up screaming sometimes, thinking of kids' faces. The words that came out of her mouth and how they came out when she walked in that room and saw him, you don't want to hear that. She's a victim. That's her husband. And now people without any proof are saying that she was a part of killing him. Come on, man. And then not having anything to substantiate it with. That's what makes me lose faith in people. And that we allow it. And that platforms allow it. It's like, it goes against everything that we are. And if we're going to allow that, what else are we going to allow?
Perfect.
You hear that kind of pain come from somebody.
How long is that clip? How many more seconds left? We gotta pull that thing up so I can see it. All right, finish the clip.
And see it. And I could only imagine the pain she's feeling now by happening to hear that people say that she was a part of it. Those are lies.
That's crazy. One more clip about Terrell and the footage, 105.
There was a man on the team who, after he was shot, I believe he was on the security team, runs towards the vehicles, hangs out outside the vehicles and takes, I believe it was a TikTok selfie video. Do you know who this is? Mm-mm. Can you pull this up, Jeremy?
Is it the one where he said Charlie just got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with the audio-visual team. Yeah, it's a company that they contract to shoot the footage. It's also the one, he's the guy that went up and...
There he is right here.
Yep.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, he's the one that, if you see him, he's the one that's running the cameras.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the audio-visual team guy that's running the cameras. He's also the one that they said that he was hiding footage or whatever, that he turned over all that footage to the FBI. So,
he did. So this is also the guy that, or was that a security guy? If you look after the event, somebody goes to the camera that was behind Charlie, pulls the camera down.
Same guy.
Looks like he pulls the SD card out.
same guy.
And that footage is in the hands of the FBI.
Correct.
Wasn't deleted, wasn't erased.
He actually works for the company called VI, and they're a contract AV video people, and he's not a security guy. He works for the security VI, the video company.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I don't understand, and it's not for me to try to understand that part, like the getting on the phone or that. I don't understand that, and you see that a lot nowadays. Tragic things happen.
Yeah.
Shootouts, and people pull their phones out instead of running, and so I don't understand that. That's for him to explain, not me. I know he doesn't work for us, but I also know from seeing some of the stuff that he's the same guy that took down the cameras, and people are like, "What's going on here?" Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm like, "Well, that's a legitimate ask. That's a legitimate.
I
ask.
think that too.
I do too.
Don't think that's
a legitimate ask. Hey, and where did that go?" And he was interviewed.
Let me, and I don't disagree with these guys, but I know Terrell. I've worked with Turning Point. I'm not doing security. I'm out there having to fight people at UC Day. I didn't fight nobody. If I fought people, it'd have been a highlight tape. Y'all still be watching. I wish I'd have did what I wanted to do. I'd be famous right now, probably. Y'all be seeing them go to sleep on the campus. Them Antifa thugs that was beating up people. But regardless of that, I know Terrell, so I know he wouldn't do that. And I know how the video team work. And when Andrew came out and said he was just taking the SD card so people wouldn't steal them, because, first of all, the video team is responsible for all that footage. Now, just imagine how much worse you feel if you abandon all that camera material, which is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and you let somebody steal the SD card, and now they have video of Charlie Kirk in 4K getting murdered. And what you think they're gonna do with the SD card? They're gonna go and take it and put it, they're not gonna give it to the FBI. They're gonna go watch it, they're gonna reproduce it, they're gonna share it with people. And if you're a responsible person, you're like, let me protect this real quick because these are my friends. And Tara has been with, ever since I can remember Charlie, Tara and them been there, editing videos and doing all this stuff. I remember them guys from way back. So the security guy may not know, but I know. I vouch for it. That dude ain't doing nothing nefarious. And let's put this baby to sleep. If he did steal the footage, what does that mean? You're saying that he stole the footage, which he didn't, but he stole the footage because he wanted Charlie to die? Do you understand that his job is Charlie Kirk? With no Charlie Kirk, there's no job. What other job they gonna have that pays like Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA? Where you're contracted to do all of that footage. Do you know how much money it's gotta be millions? It's gotta be millions in AV. It's gotta be millions. It's gotta be millions in security. I got security, and I don't have 7 people traveling 200 days. Do you know how? I'll give you an example. Security, one guy with some augmentation here and there, cost me like $20,000 a month. One guy. Now imagine 7 guys. And I travel once or twice a week during this time where we accrue about $20,000. Imagine 7 guys traveling 200 times a year. Flights, hotel, per diem, salary. You're talking millions of dollars. And you telling me the people that are making millions of dollars providing security want the man that's providing that much work dead? You got to be stupid. That's a contract. If I was a security, if I had an EP, that's the contract I want. A guy for 3 or 4 years, millions of dollars a year in protection. Okay. All right, let's get to this lighthearted video. Then we're going to get to the BBC getting their sock suit off for what they did to Donald Trump. And I don't know why more people aren't talking about this.